Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So it is market day and I am on my way out the door and heading to the market. This is the first day of the weekend market. I have my shirt done, but it didn't come out exactly the way I wanted it to, but I'm gonna wear it anyway for today. And yeah, I'm all set and ready to go, and I will see you guys at the market. So here is today's wagon. I got the red one today and not the heavy duty, and hopefully I can sell as much of this stuff today and tomorrow as possible.
Good morning, FAD makers. How are we doing today? Let me do it again. Good morning, FAD makers. How are we doing today? Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Doing good, and you? Hello? So day one is over and I just got home and I'm super tired, but I cannot go to bed because I have to make some products tonight for Sunday. So I'm going to eat. I have my food right here and I am going to eat this, and then I'm going to make some more products. Some of them are already made, so I just have to package them for tomorrow's market. And I have to make candles. I have to make my winter candles because I did not really expect them to sell, but I'm only down to one. And then I have to make another 3 reed diffusers. I wrote everything down while I was there, but I didn't talk over there, and I don't know if I did a voiceover or not, or going to, but I didn't do a lot of talking at the market because there was music playing, and I think that would be like a copyright thing. So I figured I would just record a little bit of today, and then tomorrow hopefully my sister will come and she can do some recording, and I could get the other half of the market because I only got one portion of it. So that is it for tonight. It was a very good day. I am excited, and I will tell you guys more about it in the recap. And as far as my shirt goes, so this is how it came out. It's starting to lift up some on the word light. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna see if I can buy this shirt again somewhere, and I'm going to get the actual material that goes for dark material, and I'm gonna redo it over. So this one will probably be my in-house when I'm working on my candles from time to time and my products. But I am done rambling. It is almost 7:30 and I really need to get these candles done and ready to go by tomorrow, and I need to get this other stuff done and get some sleep. The only good thing is I don't have to be there the same time I was today, so I could go in a little later, but I still want to get the majority of it done, and I'm not sure I got all my labels printed out. So if I could get that printed out and do the candles tomorrow morning before I leave, then that'll be great. But that is the end of day 1, and I will see you guys tomorrow for day 2. Welcome back, everyone. So it has been now 2 weeks since I did this market, but I am here on the last day of the year recording this recap for you guys. I have my notes here in my notebook, and I have my notes on my computer as well. So if you see me look over there, that's the reason why. But enough with all these notes. Let's hop right into the recap of this market. So this was my first ever holiday market and weekend market, and I am so glad that I did this market. I'm so glad. But before I jump the gun, let me go ahead and start at the very beginning. Now, this market was the market after the Fort Greene market, and I really didn't have much inventory to prep for this market, but I did want to have enough to cover both days, and I felt like at that time I did not have enough for Sunday. I had just enough for Saturday. So I ended up prepping, as you saw in the video, I ended up prepping a couple of candles and also probably a couple of reed diffusers, I believe, and some room sprays, just to cover everything just in case. So this market is the FAD or FAD market, holiday market at St. Paul's, and it was given in a church The church completely renovated their basement, so that's where we were. And no, when I got there, it wasn't the typical doom and gloom basement. It was actually it felt like the first floor, but it was their basement. It was nicely renovated, nicely done, and I was picked to do this market, and I'm so glad I did, because FAD market, or FAD market, is one of the ones that everybody talks highly about. So I was excited to get picked, and I ended up doing a little more extra inventory for this market. So the arrival time for this was, the way that it's set up is that we were broken down into groups, into 3 groups, so that we wouldn't be bombarding the coordinators at the door with our arrivals. I ended up being group number 2, so I had to be there around 9:45. The market didn't start until I think 11 that day, and it went from 11 to 5 for both days. So I arrived on time. I actually arrived probably about 15 minutes before my time, 10 or 15 minutes. And I arrived and I unpacked everything and headed on inside, and they showed me my spot, actually walked me over to my spot, which was nice. So once I found my spot, I ended up setting up right away. And once again, I didn't have a clear vision of what my holiday table was gonna look like, because I didn't plan it out beforehand. Now, I did go to Michael's and I bought a couple of things to make it a little more festive, as you saw, and I did have a whole garland to put on the table, but I felt like it was too much and too heavy for the table. I ended up setting up my table and setting up all my products, and I was just looking around and seeing who else was there, other vendors was there, because I also wanted to see if I knew anybody there. And I think there was one other vendor that I had met at a previous market there. So once I was all set up, I had plenty of time to spare beforehand, and I wanted to know like where the restroom was and what was the rules of the market, because with every market I try my best, especially indoor markets, I try my best to get an understanding of what the rules are for the market. So I ended up going to the front of the room and asking one of the coordinators, found out where the restroom was, and the good thing was I was close to it, so I didn't have much of a walking distance, which was great. I always look for the restroom wherever I go, but I ended up speaking to her about the restroom and what we had to do at the end of the night, because I was one of the vendors doing both days, and I needed to know like how it worked once the doors closed. Do we cover up our stuff? Do we leave our stuff? Even though the email told us, I wanted to double check and make sure. So I got all that information, and then I just started to walk around and started recording some of the market. Now, halfway through me recording the market, one of the coordinators, he got on to the loudspeaker onto the mic, and he introduced himself, and he made all the announcements, the extra announcements. And then I was like torn whether I should go back to my table or continue to record. So I ended up recording some and then heading back to my table for the rest. Now, they did give us a Wi-Fi password to use for our squares and for posting on social media that we were there at the event. And then we had to do this big Instagram post where we welcome everyone and let everyone know that the market is now open. So that was pretty fun to do. I felt like I was crazy enough the loudest one in the room actually saying it. So once that was done, the doors opened up and the people quickly came in. I can already tell this was a crowd that was looking to make purchases and looking to buy. So it wasn't like the other markets that I did before. These people were actually there for the market, which is something that I like. So I made my first sale around 11:30, 11:38, and then my second sale came around 11:53. The first one was my tropical dust reed diffuser her, and then she was looking for a discount. I didn't really give her a discount. She paid the regular price. She said she was gonna come back. She didn't, but that's okay. I got the first sale of the day, and of course I was happy and pleased that I got that out of the way, because it just opened the door for the rest of the weekend. So one of the things I noticed while I was there was that the coordinators were, for the most part, were outside directing people inside to come to the market. Now there was a sign outside that let people know what days that market was going to be there, because they had 2 other weekends. They had one before mine, and then the one before Christmas, which was after mine. And they also had other markets going on around the city. So they were doing their thing that day, and they had the coordinators out there directing people indoors. So as I'm looking at the front entrance, because my booth was more towards the back wall, as I was looking at the front entrance, you just see people just coming down the ramp, coming down the stairs, and it is just crowds of people coming in, and they were coming around to just look at things, purchase things, smell things. So that was good for the flow of people coming in, because there were times where we had some downtime, but there were still people inside the market, and then there were times where we had rushes, and I had, aside from that second time at Grand Bazaar, I never had a rush of people come. So I was happy with the traffic that day, that first day. So both days had a good balance of traffic coming in and out of the market. So the first day was very successful for me. I got a good amount of sales that day. I also ended up talking to a couple of the vendors, which I'm trying to do more and more as I do these things. And I also talked to someone who actually follows my Instagram, and I didn't realize it. And she said she had been following me for a while. So that's a nice little thing there to get to talk to somebody that's been following me. And I was actually following her too. But I did talk to some of the vendors when there was a little downtime, but the first day was definitely a fun day. It was a good day, and it was nice that at the end of the day, all I had to do was cover up my stuff and leave it there. I didn't have to pack it up and bring it with me. So on the second day, I didn't have to be there nearly as early as I did the first day. I had to be there around 10:30, and it was basically just to bring some of the products that I had made the night before. I had replenished some of the items that I had already sold, just to make sure I had enough for Sunday. So I put those on the table. I fixed my setup again, the stuff that I did take down. Took the tablecloth off of it. I ended up bringing my 8-foot tablecloth with me to cover the table, which is a good thing. Plus, I didn't have to dig for a sheet. So I set up, and we just sat and waited. We talked a little bit with the people. Now, Sunday was a little slower with the crowd, but it still was a good, decent amount of people coming in. So I actually had one gentleman, he came Saturday, and he smelled my candles, and he said he was going to return back on Sunday, and he actually came back and he actually purchased a candle. So I was happy for that. And I did have my sister's friend come, and she ended up making a big purchase that day, which I was shocked, because she did all her Christmas shopping for her family and friends, all her Christmas shopping at my table. So I was happy for that. But Sunday was kind of a repeat of Saturday. It was good vibes. It was a good flow of people, and I really did enjoy myself. I talked to the vendor a little more on Sunday than I did on Saturday. The other candle vendor, she's a candle vendor, and the one that said she followed me, I talked to her a little more on Sunday, and we also ended up exchanging gifts because I really loved one of her candles, and it smells so good. And when she came back to me to speak, I told her I wanted to buy one, and she said she only had the display one left. So she ended up giving me the display one, and I ended up giving her one of my room sprays, and we did a nice little exchange of products there. So that was a nice little connection interaction there for me. And it was just another good day of good sales for me. And I was kind of shocked because normally for weekend markets, from what I hear from other vendors, Sunday is usually their slow time, their slow down time. But at 3:30, we still had a good amount of people coming in. We had a good amount of people coming in all the way until the end. And I feel like even after we started to get ready to pack up, people were still trying to come in. So it was a good market. It was a good weekend market. I really enjoyed myself. I enjoyed doing it. And yeah, it was definitely my most successful one for the entire year. I just was blown away at what I experienced there. So for the first day, because I know you guys want to know how many sales did I have for the weekend. So for day one, I'm going to look over here because I have it written down here. For day one, I had 17 sales for the day, and my gross profit was $378.21. For day two, I had 13 sales on the day, and my gross profit was $410.21. Really like that 21 cents. And for the weekend, the grand total was 30 sales, and my gross pay was $788.42. So I really enjoyed doing this weekend market. So my top seller for the weekend was my crisp winter orchard candle. I ended up selling 5 of them, which meant I had to make more for Sunday and for the market that happened after my weekend market. So did I make my vendor fee and transportation back? Yes, I did. I made my vendor fee and part of my transportation back on the first day, and I made the rest of it and plus a nice big old profit on my second day. I will say that for the weekend, the vendor fee was $320 because it was for both days, and I ended up making that back on the first day. So I was pretty happy about that. So I absolutely enjoyed this market. I enjoyed the vibe of the people there, the coordinators there. They were very welcoming. It was a good flow for both days. I did very well for this market, and this is the top of the top for me right here. I definitely enjoyed doing it, and I was a little worried in the beginning because it was a weekend market and I didn't really know how to prep for it. But now that I've experienced it and I know what to look for, I have a better idea for if I do this market or any other weekend market, what to prepare myself for. So some of the positives of this market was the people, aka the customers. I had some good interactions with a lot of the people there, a lot of the customers there. I got some good feedback from them. The vendors that were there were very friendly and very helpful on certain things, and I even helped them on some things. So it was a nice mix of communication. The coordinators were super friendly and super helpful in making sure that the whole event went well. The good vibes that happened from the moment I got there until the moment it ended, I don't think I felt nearly as good with any other market except for Grand Bazaar. The last time I felt so good about doing that market, but the vibes there was amazing, and the space itself was so well lit. It was so decorative. Well, not decorative because it did have just lights on the column, but I think with us being in the space, it made it feel like a festive holiday market. So those were some of the positives. The only negative I can think of was that I ran out of reed diffuser base so that I can make more for the next day. I really thought I had another bottle, and when I checked it wasn't there, and I didn't have enough to make the I was supposed to make 3 reed diffusers, and I didn't have enough to make it, so I had to place an order for some more reed diffuser, which didn't come in time. So I only ended up making 1, and I figured I would make the Oris one because people are really, and I'm kind of shocked, but people are really starting to like that Oris reed diffuser. So I ended up doing 1 and bringing it with me, but that was really the only negative that I felt about the whole weekend, the whole market. So will I do this market again? I will say absolutely, I would do this market again. I really enjoyed myself there, and I am really pleased with the outcome of it. This is by far my most successful market of the entire year. I still have 1 more left after this one, and I will let you know how that one went. I don't want to give it away, but this has been the best market I've done all year, and I would really love to come back and do it again next year. Well, that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed the recap of the Fad market, their holiday market. I actually really enjoyed myself doing this market that weekend, and it left me in such a positive mood and such a good vibe. I had a good time meeting a few of the vendors there and just selling my product and talking to people and getting feedback from others. So I really love this market. Can I say it any more that I really love this market? This was definitely a successful one for me, and I am definitely putting it on the list for 2025. So I hope you all enjoyed today's video. If so, then hit that like button and interact in the comments down below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you haven't, also hit that notification bell so that you can be notified when the next new video comes out. Now, I am done here. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your week, and don't forget to show yourself a little more appreciation. So until next time, this is Tammy saying, take care, everyone.